welcome to my 2017 recap. Now, my name is Tori Peters, and I am a teen entrepreneur and author of the book, The Power of Words for Teens. My 2017 was honestly crazy. It started out with working on my Stars and Stripes project for American Heritage Girls. Now, American Heritage Girls is a Christian scouting organization, and their main mission, their focus, is on building women of integrity. I started the project in January and finished it by the end of January. Now, around that time, I had a little bit of Christmas money that I had saved and decided I would buy a lime green bass guitar because I wanted to learn how to play bass. So I went ahead and bought it and started taking lessons for bass, and soon realized that bass is my favorite instrument to play. Now, I play guitar and ukulele, but honestly bass is just so much fun that I think it's my favorite just in general. I'm not amazing at it, but it's one of the most fun instruments to learn how to play. But I do recommend learning how to play guitar for a few years before you do the bass, because then bass becomes so much easier, and if you want to switch to guitar, it becomes a lot harder. So that's just for free there. During February, I started dating my best friend at the time, and honestly, I was really happy. It was great for a while. For 2017, since I'm homeschooled, I went ahead and took a super senior year. It's where if you're a senior, you just basically take an extra year of school and do an extra year of like classes, or just spend time working on like something, a project particularly that you want to do. I originally decided to do it for speech and debate, and I wanted to compete in speech and debate next year, and the cutoff time was after my birthday, so I was able to compete in speech and debate if I wanted to. Well, plans change, and even though I chose not to do speech and debate, I still decided to do another senior year. In May, I received my Stars and Stripes award. We had the award ceremony. I also applied for a program called Praxis. Now, Praxis is sort of an alternative to college. They are a apprenticeship program for young entrepreneurs. And the deal with Praxis is that it's kind of hard to get into the program. They're super selective on who they choose to be participants. And during May, my first time I applied, I did not get into the program, and so I sent them an email saying, hey, so if you don't mind, why did I not get accepted? Is there any reason? Is there anything I can fix for next time I apply? And they said, well, you didn't have enough personal development projects. You hadn't really like quantified that, you know, you'd be willing to actually, I guess, do the work necessarily. There was no like prior proof that you would. So, you know, if you could put together a few by the next time that you apply, then we'd be happy to look at your application again and reevaluate. So, over the summer, I put together quite a few projects and went ahead and worked on them for a good 3 to 4 months. Now, the summer is when things got super crazy. I began working at a summer camp called Camp Zephyr, and over the summer, my relationship ended up ending. It was honestly hard, but it was also a good thing nonetheless. During this time, I built a website, and I also built a blog called ToriPeters.com, so if you want to go see that, I just said it, it's ToriPeters.com. There's also a link on my channel, so you can go check that out. I blogged for 60 days while I was working out at this summer camp. Now, camp work days are a little bit crazy. You would start out during kids camp weeks, where I'd get up at 6:30 and then start working at about 7:30. And then not really get off work until about 11, where then I would, finish doing whatever I needed to finish doing. I'd shower, I'd do a blog, I'd get ready for bed, do a devotional, and by the time I had finished, it would be about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't get a whole lot of sleep while I was out at Zephyr, and those are the days that I didn't hang out with friends, or we didn't have midnight cleaning. Midnight cleaning is its own thing. That's exactly what it sounds like, midnight cleaning is. But working at Zephyr has honestly been one of the most tiring, but also one of the best decisions I have ever made, and I absolutely loved every single minute I was working out there. One thing that happened over the summer is I went to a camp for the second year called Camp Electric. Now, Camp Electric is a rock and roll worship camp, and this year I met some of the most amazing girls at camp, and now we are best friends, and actually 2 of them have YouTube channels, so if you want to go check them out, I will go ahead and leave links to their channels in the description below, because they are just my favorite people in the entire world, basically. And yeah, so if you get the opportunity to go to Camp Electric, I totally would, because it's amazing, and I'm going to be there again this year. So yeah, I mean, the summer was honestly pretty amazing. Summer camp came to an end, and I went back to, living at home and finishing my super senior year. Only the problem was that most of my friends had moved to college, or just not been in my life anymore. I became very bored and lonely and rather depressed. I no longer had my best friend to lean on, and the relationship I had started before I left was no longer part of my life. So it was honestly hard. I did have things to do though, so I focused on those. Right before the summer ended, I started writing some music, and most of my focus went to writing my book and editing and finishing up everything that I needed to do for that during the last semester, or fall semester of 2017. The book is called The Power of Words for Teens. I mentioned it before at the beginning of this video, but if you want to find it, it's on Amazon right now. You can just search The Power of Words for Teens by Tori Peters. Between that and my music, I was less bored, but still kind of alone. Another thing that happened in September is I went to my first con, and it was called RealmsCon, and I cosplayed as the TARDIS, and I held a little basket that said Bad Wolf, and I had a Red Riding Hood on, and honestly, I think there's pictures on my Instagram. That was so much fun. I would honestly go to cons again. Given the opportunity, I would love to do that. That was just so much fun. I'd love to start cosplaying. Yeah, and then after that, I was still pretty alone. I didn't particularly have that many friends to hang out with during that time. So, and I really wanted a new adventure. So, my heart was really in music. And I decided I was going to go audition for some shows, television shows. So on October 11th, I took a road trip with my dad, and we went to San Antonio for the American Idol auditions. And if you guys want me to make a video on that, I definitely will. Just leave it in the comments like, hey, we want to see what happened in American Idol. I will explain everything that has to do with like the first audition and all that fun stuff, like how crazy it was and nerve-wracking. You can hear all the details. Just let me know you want to see that video in the comments, and I definitely will. I didn't make it on the show, but I honestly didn't mind too much, because I got to spend the rest of the day with my best friend, who I hadn't seen in months. So that was a really good day for me, and a really good day for us to like reconnect and just make some decisions that we had been putting off, and talk and have just some girl time that we needed. After that, I continued to work on my book and edit it and finish it. I published it as an ebook on Amazon, and you can find it. I'll leave it, the link is on my channel. By the time December came, I was ready to make the book a paperback, so you can now find that as well, and I'm so excited because I just it's so weird to have a book out, and it's actually already hit some of the bestseller lists on Amazon, so that's really amazing. Now in December there was an America's Got Talent audition as well that I ended up going to. I'd been practicing ever since the first audition, which was back in October, and I was ready. So we took a trip to Houston, and the America's Got Talent auditions there were honestly the coolest thing. You know how like on the TV show they have a sort of a party atmosphere, everyone's just super happy, everyone's excited, there are people talking, and like people are just performing, practicing, getting ready for their like big audition. And honestly, that's exactly how it is at the audition. It was so crazy. So you might see me on there, you might not, I'm not entirely sure yet. They haven't told me. So they said at the audition like, hey, so we're not making any decisions today, we'll give you a call when you get on. And you're like, alright then, so maybe, I don't know. It was honestly probably the most fun thing I did during December. Like, that was amazing. I loved it. I would definitely go and audition there again. Like, if I don't end up getting on, I'm definitely going to try again. One of the last things I did in 2017 was I applied to Praxis once again. I wasn't sure if I would get in. I wasn't sure if I had honestly done enough to get in. Yeah, I held myself to extremely high standards, and as much as I got done in 2017, I know I can do more, and so I wasn't sure if the fact that I hadn't done more would be a hindrance. Well, I got in, and to my surprise, I actually heard back from my contact with Praxis way faster than I had expected. They got back with me like a week before I was expecting to hear back from them. They said that I had impressed them with how much I had done since I had applied last, and I thought, wow, okay. I honestly almost didn't believe it, and I'd been working really hard to get into Praxis with all the projects that I had done, and I almost didn't want to get my hopes up. So I did a few other things in 2017 as well. I sewed a quilt and started DMing for a tiny Dungeons and Dragon group. And overall, 2017 was extremely eventful. I met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, and lost a few on the way. I think this has probably been the most productive year I've ever had so far. And so many things happened that will hopefully carry over to 2018. Like, you know, the America's Got Talent audition. I still haven't heard back from them, so I don't know. I'm excited. 2017 has both been really good and bad. But I don't think I honestly would change very much of it. Maybe one or two things here and there, but even that really wouldn't be worth it, because the stuff that happened that was bad, I learned from, and that's really important. So my life isn't perfect, and it never will be, but as I continue to learn and have an adventure, everything will be great, and I have amazing hopes for this next year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want me to go into more detail about any of the things that I talked about today, just leave it in the comments below. That way I know, like, hey, people actually want to hear about this experience that I had, or like this thing that I did. You know, just leave it down there, and I will definitely make a video about it, since I will be doing videos every single day for the next 80 days. So please subscribe so you never miss any of the videos, never miss any of the fun or the inspiration that I'm hopefully going to be bringing to you guys, and I would love to have you guys join my community. Today was a bit of a story time, but most of my videos are going to be motivation based. My gear for this channel is to inspire you guys to go for your dreams kind of while I'm going for mine, and like to bring you guys along on the journey as I go for my dream and work towards those. So I would love to have you guys join me. It'd be so much fun. The more people, the merrier, I say. So yeah, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram my username will be up here somewhat. I don't know how this works. Yeah, there we go. My username will be up there, and it will be down in the description, so you can just copy and paste it into your Instagram and follow me. I'll be doing lots of updates on there, lots of probably some live chats, so I can like get to know you guys and just hang out with y'all. Yeah, we'll see what happens with those. I'm planning on doing some. I haven't decided when, but I will definitely be doing some. So the sooner you subscribe, the better. That way you never miss any. And I hope you guys have a wonderful adventure today, and don't let your lights go out. Bye, guys!